What up? It's really early. It's like 4:45. I'm going to the gym. I'm gonna show you guys today some chest and tricep and how to blow out your chest and triceps. A lot of different new modalities I've been working on, so I'm gonna show you guys those today, and I'll see you in a second.
So I hit a full chest and tricep workout. I'm gonna take you guys through that. But before I do, I got really interested in how to build the chest up and the triceps, because one of my clients and actually a coach currently of DC Fitness, Jake, that is his lagging body part, and he has very poor shoulder mobility. It's also his, it's his weakest area. So I really want to kind of go through what we are implementing with him and how it is going to work for you and the science behind it. So there's two parts of the pec. There's the pec major, bigger muscle, right? And the pec minor, which kind of orientates up and down. Pec major, you can see it inserts at the sternum and the clavicle, and it goes all the way to the humerus. And the pec fibers, the fibers of it are running in different directions. So I've been following Paul Carter's workouts. His app is awesome. It's a paid $30 per month. I use it. I like his style. It's really cool, learning a lot, and a lot of stuff I'm bringing you is from his teachings. I'm gonna get into 5 things that you're probably not doing right now on how to implement into your chest training. So first and foremost, you wanna focus on the fiber orientation directions. So for the chest, when you're pressing, as you can see here in this movement on my incline press, I'm tucking my elbows, and what I'm actually doing is taking that elbow, and the pec fibers mainly run in this direction here from the humerus to the sternum, and I'm crossing that line. That allows a lot more activation. So in your pressing motions, you really want to tuck the elbows to get the humerus, the upper arm, perpendicular to the chest pec fibers. Number 2 is focusing on tempos. So tempos, there's 4 numbers, right? There's the eccentric lowering, there is the pause, there is the concentric raising, and then there's a pause. So each one is measured in seconds. So if you see something like a 3-1-1-1, that's a 3-second eccentric, 1 second pause, 1 second up, 1 second pause. On the tempos, you want to focus on really slow eccentrics. So that means slow lowering. You can see me dropping these really slow and controlled. The more eccentric loading and the slower you get it, the more time under tension. The research is showing that you're going to build more muscle with the more eccentric loading. The pause, that allows us to take the stretch reflex. So if you were just to go up and down, it's actually easier than if you have to pause in the bottom and then go back up. You're basically you're shutting off that stretch reflex, and then you're just powering right out of it, which is causing more tension in that pec. The last thing is the hold, and I like using the hold here because you get a second or 2 on the top, and that really allows you to contract, which gets more tension, but also gets you a longer time under tension, which will help you build muscle mass. The third thing to implement is loaded stretching. So this is really cool. So you'll see loaded stretching obviously on the bottom of your tempos that you hold it there. So if you see something like a 5-3-1-2, that's a 3-second pause on the bottom. Really good to use for. You notice most people have, like Jake, for example, he has a really small chest. His chest is actually really, really tight too. So doing that loaded stretching, holding that iso, is really going to help develop that muscle fiber. Also, you can see here I'm doing a chest fly and holding the bottom portion of it, and that's really stretching my pecs out and loading it isometrically, so it's really increasing the flexibility in that area. Number 4 is varying rep ranges. As you can see, some of these exercises are doing 10 and then an 8 and then a 6 and then a 12, kind of changing each set, the rep scheme, and that allows us to load differently. So I'm obviously going to use a different weight that I'm using for 10 that I'm using for 6 reps. That's going to stimulate different types of tension in that muscle, which will allow it to grow and kind of tag every angle per one exercise, which is a really, really good way to maximize all the tension that you're getting in that exercise. So you can see on these, basically almost every exercise I did was a different rep each set. Okay, so the last thing is the technique. You really want to have this hammered in to really activate the right muscles. A small degree of change can equal a completely different muscle, or it can even equal less tension in that actual muscle you're trying to work. So if you guys see here during my tricep extensions, I'm keeping my humerus completely still. Like, there is no movement. I'm dropping the line of the cable right over my AC joint and keeping that in line. On my lateral raise here, I'm picturing my hand going towards the wall. Instead of it going upwards, I'm going out towards the wall to the side of me, and that's really helping me activate that deltoid a lot more. If you guys can also see, I'm in a scapular plane. So whenever you're doing lateral raises and even shoulder presses, you don't want to be actually in the frontal plane, which is basically that side-to-side motion. A better way to do it is go into the scapular plane, which is at a front diagonal. So it's kind of like maybe a 30-degree angle to what would be the side to really get that deltoid fired up. So that's 5 different ways you can grow a big old chest. If you got even one tip out of it, imagine what you're gonna get from coaching with us. If you're a guy that's already pretty good shape, but you really wanna dial in your nutrition, really dial in your training, definitely do our 12-week program if you wanna get freaking shredded. If you're a guy that just isn't really familiar with the gym or working out on their own and wants to lose 25 pounds, definitely enroll in our program. So the link I'm gonna put right here is dcfitness.la/enrollment-form. So go there. I'll put a link below. You can click on that. So you get custom training, custom nutrition, one-on-one accountability coaching. It's foolproof. There are no gaps in the system. That's why it works so well. So anyways, Dylan Conrad, DC Fitness, signing off.